Hello, welcome back to the Watford Way. I'm just about recovering after that England performance, but now we're here
Watford
to
Way.
watch
I'm just
Spain versus Georgia, which is very exciting indeed. We're back in our boy Giorgi Chakvetadze. I can see him there actually as they do the national anthems now. And yeah, I'm very, very excited indeed. As I said, on a bit of a come down at the moment after England. But yeah, what a game that was. Jude Bellingham with the bicycle kick, and then Harry Kane with the header just into extra time as well to seal the win for England to send us through to a quarter-final tie against Switzerland. And yeah, we've got a guest we'll add on in just a moment as well. But yes, I'm looking forward to the game very much. Look, if we're being honest here, yes, we're backing our boy Giorgi. But, you know, Spain should be thrashing Georgia quite comfortably. I was very impressed with Spain in the group stages. I think alongside Germany, they were the team that impressed me the most. Scored quite a few goals. Great squad as well. You know, a lot of depth. Lamine Yamal as well as, you know, one of the breakout stars of the tournament, only 16 years of age. Yeah, it should be a good game. And if Georgia pull off the victory today as well, you know, it'll be the first time, well, actually reaching the round of 16 for the first time in their nation's history. But if they win today, of course, they'll be reaching the quarterfinals for the first time in their nation's history as well, which is great. Just doing a Spain national anthem as well. Then we'll add in our guest who's going to be joining me for the watch along today. I can see Caden in chat. He says, hello, everyone. How are we all after that? As is a Caden, I'm on a bit of a come down currently after the England game. I wasn't expecting it to go to extra time. I thought we'd win quite comfortably. Clearly, that wasn't the case. But we got there in the end through Jude Bellingham and Harry Kane. VJ says, hello all. Hello, VJ. Hope you're doing well. And yeah, we're just waiting for the Spain national anthem to conclude, and then we'll start our watch along for Giorgi Chakvetadze, who's yet to score this tournament. Obviously, Kvaratskhelia got the goal in the last game. They're big player. But I think after Kvaratskhelia, Giorgi Chakvetadze is probably their second most important player in terms of pure talent that they've got. But I'll add in my guest now as the game is just about to kick off. We've got Cal coming into the stream. Cal, hello. How are you after the insane England performance we just got? My goodness.
God, I've barely calmed down after that. I don't think I've shouted as much in a long time. That was insane. Yeah, honestly, it's been incredible. How are you, James? You all right?
I'm all good. Yeah, as I said, I'm just coming down after the England game, but looking forward to watching Giorgi Chakvetadze now for Georgia. And I have to say, I do apologise in advance for any of my pronunciation for the Georgian national team. I'm sure you can agree, Cal. They all have very, very long surnames, so I'm not going to attempt too much to pronounce the Georgian names. But what do you think going into this game, Cal? Spain versus Georgia. Georgia clearly the big underdogs today. You know, they're not really, you know, in my view, going to win today. But you know, anything can happen in football. They've got Kvaratskhelia. They've got our man Giorgi in midfield as well. What's your score prediction for Spain versus Georgia today?
Exactly. Well, no one predicted what they were going to do against Portugal. I think, you know, with the team spirit they have, and, you know, I'd say individual quality, but obviously against Portugal, there's such a golfing quality. But it's just the amount of togetherness they have as a nation really brought them together in that game and got them across the line to finish in a position where they never thought they'd be able. I don't even think their fans, nor the players, nor the team in general would think they'd be in the position where they are today, facing off against Spain in the knockout rounds of their first major European competition. Yeah. So, were they able to pull up against the line today? Like, I'm kind of facing towards your view. I don't see it, mainly just purely because I think Spain, well, for me, they're favourites. I think Spain are going to win the whole tournament. That's a bit of a bold claim so far.
We'll come on to that later. I'm surprised you said that, actually, considering you got France, got Germany in there as well.
But yeah, like I said, I'll discuss that in a bit more detail a bit later. But I feel Spain are just going to be a bit too intensified for them, but I think they're going to have a lot more chances, especially when it comes towards the final third.
Yeah,
Will
Lamine
I mean
Yamal for Spain, Cal. What
Lamine
do you think about
Yamal?
him? 16 years of age, tearing it up on the
Absolute, yeah.
international stage. What a baller.
Yeah, absolute baller. What a talent. I mean, he's free to come to the Vic anytime he really wants to. I'm sure we'll welcome him with open arms, but I'm sure he's probably happy where he is right now in sunny Barcelona. So I'm pretty sure we'll just leave him there for now. I'm sure he'll be happy there. But I've been quite impressed, as much as Spain have been quite impressive in the lead up to this, in the lead up to the knockout rounds. Yeah, I've got to pinpoint a few of the Georgia players that have impressed me as well. Their goalkeeper, I'm not going to even try to pronounce him, but my God, he has been unbelievable so far. In that game against Portugal, the amount of saves he made was insane. And I feel like if it comes to multiple chances in the final third, I'd like to see how he comes up against players like Yamal, who's going to be pressing on the front foot. We've got Morata as well, who'll be starting up front. It'd be interesting to see how he faces up against those players, because obviously he's come up against arguably the best player of all time in Ronaldo, and a very forward pressing Portugal side. Will it be more of the same again today? I'm not too sure.
I don't know, but we have kicked off here. I'm just going to try and sync up myself with Cal. Cal, I'm on about 39 seconds, 40 seconds, 41 seconds right now. I don't know where you're at.
Bear with me 1 second. I'm having a bit of issues with my Skybox at the moment, so I'm going to just make sure.
No worries. I'll do the commentating for now then. But we have kicked off in the game, Spain versus Georgia. We'll run you through both teams in just a moment. Spain playing from right to left at the moment. And I do have the teams actually that I can bring on screen for everybody to see right now. So we'll look at Spain. Unai Simon in goal. You got Dani Carvajal, Laporte, Cucurella, Pedri, Rodri, Fabio Ruiz, Lamine Yamal, Alvaro Morata, as Cal just highlighted, and Nico Williams. Kvaratskhelia up front through Georgia. Their striker alongside Kvaratskhelia is being hunted by a few European clubs, I believe. And then you got our man Giorgi Chakvetadze there in midfield as well. So the Georgia team probably as strong as they could have gone. And then the Spain team, they don't have, loads of really world-class players, but in terms of the depth they've got and some of the young talent they have coming up, actually, they do have, for me, one of the better teams in the tournament. Early chance there for Spain, 2 minutes in, and Tony says, "Go, Georgie, go." VJ says he'd love that keeper at Watford, Cal, the one you highlighted.
I'm sure. Like I said, if he wants to come to Watford, I mean, we're after Jonathan Bond at the moment, so I think there's a bit of a golfing class. It tells you all we need to know at the moment. But I'll be happy to have him at the club for sure.
Oh my gosh, Cal, we've got to discuss the new kit. I mean, I'm watching Spain now, actually, and they're playing, they haven't got red shorts, so they're playing in the red shirt, and it kind of reminds me a little bit of the new Watford kit that's come out. What do you think about the kit? Because for me, it's a solid, 9.5 out of 10. It's really, really nice.
Massive fan. Like I feel like the stripes on the kit, they aren't too overdone. Nothing is not too crowded. I feel like it looks really, really classy. And like going back to our to what I'd say our glory is, but just back reminiscing in the past. I mean, it was called what was our like promotion called? I think it's like, what would we rebrand everything on our socials? I completely forgot what it was called.
Oh, inspired.
That's it. Yeah, it's inspired by our past with the red shorts. Massive fan of that. That's going to be really nice to see next season. I feel like it's a massive upgrade from this. As much as I'm wearing it and sporting it right now, I feel like it incorporates a lot more of the yellow, which is something I think this kit missed a lot this year. But really looking forward to seeing our boys lift the promotion trophy in that next year.
Yes, hopefully, fingers crossed. Jack says, are negotiations still going on with Bond? I believe that's a done deal. I believe Watford are literally waiting for July 1st because in terms of financial fair play, that's how footballing calendars work. So from tomorrow onwards, I'd expect maybe Sissoko, the Udinese centre-back to come in, Jonathan Bond to officially be confirmed as well. From tomorrow onwards, I'd expect quite a few Watford signings to be confirmed in the coming week. Quick update on the game as well. Spain, as you can imagine, dominating possession here. Lamine Yamal just driving forward at the moment. Passes it out to Dani Carvajal. In the box, shoots, and it's saved by the Georgia goalkeeper.
First of many, I reckon, in this game.
First of many, yeah. I do have to keep looking up because my television is like above.
Yeah, same. I have to keep returning to the left because I've kind of got you on split screen at the moment. I'm looking at the stream and I'm looking at this thing. So I'm
have you got your Sky Q sorted out now?
Yeah, so I'm just making sure it's loading properly, making sure it's syncing up with the time, and I'll be with you in probably a minute's time.
Okay. Let me know where you're at. I mean, you'll probably be 10 or 20 seconds behind, no doubt, if you're streaming it over the internet. But
Yeah.
yeah, hopefully we can see a Giorgi Chakvetadze goal. That's why I'm doing this watch along today. Is yet to score the tournament. I don't know. He hasn't got an assist yet, has he, Cal? I don't believe Giorgi.
Not yet. I don't think he's had the impact that that we'd have hoped for in the tournament yet. But hopefully, that can change.
He had
Moving
that
into this
pass.
game.
What game was it? He played a really good pass, and then the striker blasted it over the bar. I can't remember who that was against. Might have been Turkey, actually. Yeah, I think it was Turkey. Giorgi with a great pass late on in the game. And yeah, he was robbed of an assist there. But here's Spain, edge of the box, out to Nico Williams. Passed it in. Chakvetadze clears.
Oh, I just want to get a viewpoint as to where you're at in terms of time, because I've got my skybox working now.
Okay, so I'm watching essentially as live as I can get. So I'm at 5 minutes 35, 36.
Oh wow, yeah, I'm at 5 minutes 10 at the moment. So you're 20 seconds in front.
You can be like our replay guy, Cal. You can come
exactly. Yeah, that's what I mean. The Watford Way news. I'm going to be live broadcasting, and I'll make sure to be the replay system.
Yeah. Goes out for a Georgia goal kick. In terms of the Watford transfer window so far, Cal, obviously Ismail Kone has just been confirmed to have left the club. He's gone and joined Marseille in France, reuniting with Ismaila Sarr. Roberto De Zerbi, the new manager there as well. What have you made of that move? Kone, obviously a player with a lot of potential. The fee around £15 million. Is that a good deal for you?
I feel like, it was always going to be extremely hard to keep him after how well he's impressed, and the amount of clubs that are higher up than us in the European ladder that were after him. It was always going to be so hard to keep onto him. I can't imagine him wanting to play another season in the Championship, considering that he probably knows the level that he's at. So I mean, he had teams like West Ham, Marseille, nonetheless, who have managed to go and get him now. I think Frankfurt were also in the race for him at one point. So it just kind of shows the level of clubs that were looking at. They were looking for him, maybe even not even as a bench, maybe as a starter for their teams. 15 million. Personally, for me, I probably would have liked it to be around 17.5 to 20, because I think that's probably the reason I would have wanted it. I mean, that's probably a bit of an
fees reported. I think the initial fee was 20 million, which I thought was really, really good. Then Fabrizio Romano said 12 million euros. Someone else said 15 million. So yeah, I think if we can get 15 with maybe add-ons included as well, I think that would be, for me, a good deal actually.
Yeah, definitely. I think the add-ons will make a massive difference here. 12 million is initial fee. As an initial fee, sorry, that's a bit. I'm not too sure about that. That's a bit too low in my opinion. But then again, he's playing in a high pressing, high demanding French side. That'll be testing with PSG for the Ligue 1 title next season. So, especially with a brand new shift in managerial ways, how De Zerbi can use him and utilize him to the system, whether he's playing as a starter or as a bench player, it's going to be interesting to see how that pans out. But of course, absolutely smashed it in our midfield for the time he was here. I wish him all the best. He's a young prodigy with a lot of talent. He was incredible versus France. France versus Canada. He was one of the standout players.
I think that was the performance that really, unfortunately for Watford, highlighted him to big European clubs. I think that was the game, really, wasn't it?
Definitely, it showed that he has the quality. It's not necessarily Watford quality, hence why Marseille snapped him up. So it was always going to be a task to keep him, as it was for Hal Pedro when he was being sniffed around by so many European outfits. As for Sarr, it's always going to be hard to keep him to quality like that. But like I said, I wish them all the best, and hopefully we can utilize this money that we get for him, albeit probably a bit less than what I'd expected. Hopefully we utilize it properly. And moving on to transfers a bit later on, I'll tell you how I'd probably use that.
Well, yeah, I mean, we'll talk about that. We've got a good 2 hours of this game, so we've got plenty to talk about. And obviously, Cal, if it does go to extra time or penalties, if you do need to head off and you need to get some sleep, feel free to. Do not worry. But yeah, Georgia at the moment defending resolutely. I would say they've not actually had a chance yet. They had a decent run down the right-hand side just a moment ago, but it's very much with Spain. Nico Williams getting on the ball quite a lot. And yeah, as you know, with Spain dominating in midfield, Cucurella on the ball here, looking to get a cross in as well. But yeah, no big clear-cut chance as of yet for either team. That does concern me that Spain are having a lot of possession at the moment. But it would be so good to see, Watford's very own Giorgi Chakvetadze getting through to the semi-finals. Not semi-finals,
It would be,
quarterfinals, I should
yeah.
say. Another Watford player who's featured at the Euros, Cal, who I want to ask you about is Ryan Porteous, who got sent off against Germany in Scotland's first game. What did you think about that? That was classic Porteous, wasn't it? A disgusting challenge on Ilkay Gundogan, red card. I think UEFA actually extended the ban due to the severity of the challenge, which I found quite funny.
This is football heritage. That's what it's all about. Yeah, it's classic. Of course, that one of the main Watford defensive players. Wait, what's going on? Oh no, sorry, it's because I'm a bit behind. Yeah, no, just in regards to the game, I'm having to switch around like that. I'm kind of just going to switch around between different screens to see if Georgia or Spain have had a chance. But yeah, more into Ryan Porteous. It's just classic how one of our players puts in one of the worst tackles of the entire tournament. Probably will be one of the worst challenges of the entire tournament to get himself sent off in the first game. Typical, but then again, I don't think Scotland were going to make it far anyway. So, no. And that was proven. So yeah, I think it was a disgusting challenge. I mean, I think we'd all be lying to ourselves, even as Watford fans, if we were to say that it wasn't a red card, because it was horrific. But yeah, what are your thoughts on it?
Yeah, well, when I was watching it live, because obviously it was the first game of the entire tournament. So when I was watching it live, I thought the challenge was maybe a yellow. But when they showed the replay in slow motion, he literally, from my memory, he literally shot it on like his ankle and could have caused Gundogan some serious damage. So yeah, it was a warranted red card for me. And I think that's what Ryan Porteous gives you, really. Sometimes he can be class and sometimes he can be absolutely calamitous. And in that case for Scotland, I mean, I didn't expect them to beat Germany anyway, but that certainly, didn't help them. I think Jamal Musiala, for me, from a Germany's perspective, he's been so good. I mean, for me, he's been player of the tournament so far. I know Jude Bellingham just scored that great goal today, but his overall performance wasn't great. Whereas I watched Jamal Musiala, and just the way he can dribble with the ball is just, it's unbelievable to watch. Cal, I don't know what your thoughts are on Musiala.
Honestly, for me, I've got a bet on him at the moment, outright to be the top scorer this season in the Euros this year. I just feel like he's so good, man. Like if you see him in the squad, Nagelsmann uses him so well. He's so fluid with his range of passing. He even get back to tackle. He does deploy a bit of he has a bit of Bellingham's way of playing in terms of how he can be deputized for in so many different positions on the pitch and in so many ways. And I feel like with Musiala at the helm, especially for so many years to come as well. Well, I don't know how old he is. He's probably just turned into his early 20s, if not younger. I don't even know how old he is. Someone in the comments can let me know. 21, yeah, still like that's more like he's going to be here for tournaments to come. I do think if he plays at the level he does and maintains that for so many years, he's going to become a Watford legend. I was about to say, hope so. He's going to become a German legend.
Yeah. Jack has asked, Cal, is VAR on for tonight? Jack, I believe watching from Australia, VAR is in use for every game at Euro 2024.
I think Jack said Cal is VAR for tonight because I'm so
far behind. I see. Oh, I see. Because you're delayed.
To be fair to you, Jack, I could probably do a better job than most of the VAR officials that we have in England at the moment. So, I'll happily take that reign for this game.
Jack also said, I found it funny that he got sent off, obviously referring to Ryan Porteous. I feel like that was classic Watford. It really was. I found it hilarious. I mean, obviously not for Scotland fans, but for Ryan Porteous, I could feel it. He's always got one in him, hasn't he?
Yeah, definitely, 100%.
Yeah. So far, the game, Spain 0, Georgia 0. I'm sure Cal can agree. Georgia have really, resolutely defended so far. Spain had a chance, actually, saved by the Georgian goalkeeper. But other than that, they've yet to make, the breakthrough. But yeah, 14 minutes gone here in Germany, and it's still Spain 0, Georgia 0. Cal, you mentioned about Ismail Kone and the money we've received from his sale. Let's say we have received £15 million. Firstly, do you think Gino Pozzo will spend any of that money?
Well, I mean, if you haven't looked at the standard of our signings at the moment, first of all, I just want to say I'm glad we're actually, being linked to some players. I don't care about their quality or anything like that. At least, we're showing that we have some activity.
Coming back as well, actually.
Yeah, of course, I'll explain that a bit later on. But in terms of, our transfer activity, I'm glad that we're being linked to some players, regardless of quality. So at least we're showing that we're active. But, with the 15 million that we have, it needs to be utilised into the squad. I think you'd agree. If we want to push on, I feel like, especially with the loss of Kone now, who's such a big and integral part of our midfield, of course, with Dennis now gone, I think he's now back. He's now off of his loan now because I don't think we could buy him permanently, could we not? I think he had to go back.
You can always buy a loanee permanently, but Jamal Lewis was on loan. He's left. I think there was a £4.5 million option there. I'm sure if Watford had paid enough, Dennis would have come back. But I don't think our financial position currently would be able to pay for someone of his caliber. But yeah, would you have taken Dennis back yourself?
Yes, absolutely. I would have. I just feel like he was one of our best. Well, I say for the time that he did, he was. I think on his day he can be one of our best attacking outfits and pushing for an even better finish than we had last season. He'd be a really integral part into that, as with Kone. But of course, with the price tag, we'll be able to recuperate the player that we had in Kone and invest it back in with the money. I'm not too sure, but with the signings that we're bringing in, like you said, their bonds pretty much a bit of a done deal. Don't know if I'm too inspired by that. Would he get in over Backman or any of our goalkeeper options? Ben Hamer, yeah, exactly. Yeah.
I see him personally as more like a younger Ben Hamer, if you will. Like, hopefully he can challenge Dan for that starting spot because you always want competition for places. But he's probably not on the level we need, really.
Exactly. If you're looking at Exactly. If you're looking at the squad that we have, I don't think our backup goalkeeper, while that's important, it's not really something that we should be focusing the amount of attention that we have done on it. I feel like that's something that even deputising at the moment as like a youth goalkeeper and playing them for the past few games until we get to the end of the transfer window where we can start looking at maybe getting it back in an old like veteran goalkeeper, for example, like Ben Hamer was. That's something we could have focused on. Jonathan Bond, if he's coming in, that's good, I guess, because there's one more player to add to the squad depth. We've brought in this young Udinese centre-back as well in Tivkic, I hope I pronounced that right.
Oh, Georgia! They've scored! Kvaratskhelia! Oh, my God!
In comes the VAR.
Oh, my God, in comes the VAR with Cal, but oh, my goodness, Georgia.
I'm having a look here.
Spain. I don't think there's any hint of offside or anything. I think it's a fully legitimate goal. Kvaratskhelia has just scored a fantastic goal. I'm just watching
live on the Hornets House Sky Sports News here. 30 seconds behind. We have Georgia coming in. Oh, it's a great counter-attacking play, and that's a superb finish. Kvaratskhelia as well. Who else was it going to be but the Georgian man?
Oh,
wow!
Giorgi Chakvetadze wasn't actually involved in the goal. I mean, is that an own goal? Actually, I'm just looking at that now.
It could be a Robin Lenormand. It could be a Robin Lenormand own goal.
It is. I think it's an own goal from Spain.
Wow! Speak about a shake-up in this so far. Wow, that's so unexpected. This is what I mean. This is the beauty of football. Slovakia were kind of just bouncing us about all over the place, and then all of a sudden, something like that, the click of a finger, things can change.
VJ says have it. Jack says football heritage.
Yeah, football heritage.
Oh, this is good. This is good. I wasn't expecting Georgia to score today. I was talking to Cal on Instagram messages before we come on, and I said to him, I expect Spain to probably thrash Georgia today. But Georgia, through a Spanish mistake, I mean, it was great attacking play down the right, actually, from Georgia. A really nice cross that was whipped in, as I'm sure Cal can agree. And yeah, the Spanish centre-back, I don't know who it was, number 3. Let me just look on Normand.
Yeah, he was a French centre-back, but changed to Spain as a nationality change, yeah.
I've never heard of him. Maybe that's just my lack of football knowledge, I don't know, but he scored the own goal. And yeah, here comes Georgia again, actually. Georgia breaking forward. Here's Kvaratskhelia on the ball. Chakvetadze breaking down the left-hand side as well. He doesn't get the pass away, and Spain do regain possession.
Come on, Giorgi.
But yeah, as Jack says, Cal, this is due actually. Own goal is the top scorer at the Euros currently. I think there's now been 8 own goals currently in the entire tournament.
God, this own goal.
Edge of the box. Oh, big chance there.
God, this own goal player, he's a cracking player, isn't he?
Oh, yeah,
8 goals this tournament. Yeah, it does be awkward. Yeah, own goals. I didn't expect there to be this many, especially it's like more than double the actual tally of players that have scored. I think.
Yeah,
it's crazy.
The top goal scorer currently has got 3 goals. I think Musiala and the Georgian striker actually has the most goals as well on 3 too. So yeah, Musiala and the Georgian main striker, whose name I won't pronounce because I don't want to butcher it. Does have the most goals currently, and then own goal is on like double that. So yeah, own goal very much.
I like how we've got this stream centered around Chakvetadze, but he's the only real Georgian last name that we can pronounce properly.
I don't even think so pronounce his name properly half the time. Chakvetadze, some people say. Like I don't know. I don't. Really
if you have a look at his name, yeah. So it's Chakvetadze. So Chakvetadze or something. I think it would be something like that.
Chakvetadze. Yeah, that's probably. Yeah. I mean, I'll just say it how I feel most comfortable saying it.
Exactly, Giorgi. Just call him Giorgi.
Giorgi, but yeah, Giorgi sounds like Georgia, which is the team he plays for. So there's like it's hard.
God, there's something going on in the Georgia cinematic universe right now. This is crazy.
I know. But yeah, wow, I'm shocked to say that Georgia are currently leading this game. I'm sure Watford Twitter's going bonks at the moment. I'm just going to go on my phone and
yeah, that's what I was thinking. I'm sure Do Not Scratch Your Eyes are probably going crazy right now.
Yeah. Oh dear, I can't believe it. Oh, Spain shoot. Great claim there by the Georgian goalkeeper. Really well held.
I tell you now, I don't know. I'm not going to pronounce his name. I'm going to call him the Georgian goalkeeper. I think that's probably what he's more suited to.
Look, I've got the team in front of me here. Let me just bring it back up on the screen so we can all see. So you got Unai Simon in goal for Spain. The Georgian goalkeeper is called Mama Dashvili.
Yep, this is him. Yeah. So Mama Dashvili, if I've pronounced that right.
Yeah.
He won't stay at his club for long. I think he's currently at Valencia, if I've got that right. Yeah, wow. He's if it's all by performance standard, he's not going to be there for long. I tell you that. I reckon a top European outfit. I'm not saying that like Valencia aren't, by the way. I'm just saying that a club that have a bit more dominance in the league they're in, or probably in the European competition next year. They'll probably try and step him up. I hope he's not a backup goalkeeper because he's shown what he can do when he's in a starting position. So, for some reason, immediately because I don't know if they have any main goalkeeper, that'll be a nailed on starter for some reason. But my head instantly turned to Crystal Palace for someone like Mamardashvili. I don't know why. I feel like he thrived there. It's a bit of an odd club to pop to mind. But I feel
they've got Dean Henderson, haven't they?
That's what I was thinking. Yeah, I don't know if he's gone back. I don't know if he was on loan from United or Palace bought him permanently. Because if that was the case, if they bought him permanently, then there's no point in even thinking about it, because Henderson will start. But yeah, he's suited to kind of like a mid-table team like that. Realistically, I feel like that'd be a good starting point for him. To really show what he's about, because this tournament has flourished his career, I reckon.
Spain again, pushing a lot of players up here. I mean, there's literally, maybe 1 or 2 players behind the ball at the moment. The rest of the Spain players are in and around the Georgian penalty area. Just trying to work away through doing their tiki-taka type football here. Lamine Yamal trying to find the ball. He doesn't. Georgia pick back up possession. Kvaratskhelia dribbling through. Lays it off to Chakvetadze. He goes down. And it's a Georgian free kick. Oh. Have a stretch. Well, it wasn't Chakvetadze. I do apologise. It wasn't Chakvetadze. That was number 11. But yeah, it's interesting. It's interesting stuff. Georgia leading. Cal, Switzerland, I think we'll talk about soon as well. Here's Chakvetadze though for Watford, driving forward.
Chakvetadze for Watford.
for Georgia, who plays for
There we go.
Yeah. Here's Lamine Yamal. Yeah, he's an interesting player. I mean, I've watched Lamine Yamal quite a lot, actually, and he still seems quite raw to me. He has a few good moments, but I wouldn't say he's like on a world-class level or anything currently. I mean, to be doing what he's doing at 16 years of age internationally, he's clearly got to be a decent player, but I don't think he's like he's superb. I wouldn't put him in that bracket yet. Here's Spain again, really dominating possession here. I'm just going to search up the possession statistics actually just to see. I mean, it's got to be at least 70-30 currently. Let's take a look here.
I'd probably argue more, to be honest.
Stats. 86%, 86% Spain, 14% Georgia, 239 Spanish passes to Georgia's 40. Wow. And Spain about 94% pass accuracy compared to Georgia's 70. Really shows the levels there. And yeah, this game's going past quite quickly now. 25 minutes gone. I don't actually know which city this has been held in, actually. Obviously, the England game was just in Gelsenkirchen, which apparently is a bit of a shithole according to people who have visited. Let's take a look as to where this game is. Spain versus Georgia. Location.
I think we're next in Dusseldorf, if I'm right correctly in saying, against Switzerland.
So this game's Cologne. Let's check where England v Switzerland is.
I believe that's Dusseldorf.
I can't see. I don't know if you can find out, Cal. It's not coming up on my Google.
Let me just check. Bear with me.
I've got a funny story to tell you in just a moment, though. Once you found out the location about the Euros.
Yep.
Oh, here's Spain. They shoot over the bar. Pedri.
Yep. So, Saturday, July the 6th, England versus Switzerland. It will be held in Dusseldorf.
Interesting. Yeah, apparently Gelsenkirchen is like the worst place fans have visited so far. In England, they've had 2 of their games there, so not great for English fans. But yeah, you won't believe what I'm about to tell you. So I entered a competition to win Euro tickets, and I won. So it was a Visit Qatar competition, and they phoned me on, what day was it? I think it was Thursday. No, it was Wednesday. They phoned me and said, James, you've won the competition you entered. And then what I didn't realise, though, is they said the caveat is we'll provide you UEFA club hospitality tickets for, I think it was, who was it? Austria, Turkey. They'd pay for the hotel, the hospitality, and then they'd pay for the car to and from the hotel, but they weren't going to cover the flight costs. Then I said, okay, all right, I didn't realise that when I entered the competition. Let me look up flight prices, because I said to my brother it was for 2 people. I was like, right, we need to, if the flight prices are reasonable, I want to go out to Germany. And then I looked up the flight prices. The closest flight to me to get to Leipzig, which is where the game was with Ryanair from Stansted Airport. And it would have cost over £400 return just for the flights. So forgetting food or anything like that, would have just been £400 returns for the flight alone. And yeah, I said to my brother Ashley, I said, as much as I really want to go to this, I was like, it's not an England game. I can't warrant paying that much money. So unfortunately, I had to turn down these like UEFA hospitality tickets for the Euros. But yeah, I didn't realize that when I entered the competition, but yeah, I was gutted.
I bet you were. Like, I mean, that's £400. I don't know if that's something I can justify for one game. I'm sure it would have been nice, walk around Germany and get a bit of a feel for the atmosphere, especially in this Euros competition. But yeah, I think you probably made the right call there. For being honest with you, save your money for one game.
Yeah, I think so. I think if it was like maybe the final, the semi-finals, or if it was an England match, I would have paid it. But yeah, I think they said it was like Austria, Turkey on Tuesday. And yeah, it was Visit Qatar, so I thought they'd provide the flights, but clearly I didn't read the terms and conditions of this competition. And yeah, they gave us the tickets. They would have given us the hospitality, the hotel stay, car transfers and stuff, but the flights are just outrageous. I couldn't warrant paying that much. So yeah, it was a shame. But here's Georgia. Oh, they shoot. It's blocked by Spain, and it's headed back to Unai Simon in the Spanish goal as we approach 30 minutes gone in this game. Adventures with Lennon Cow says, would you like to see Ballo Torre, the left back, signed for us from AC Milan? I'm sure you've heard of him. Cow's been rumoured in recent days. I believe he was at Fulham last season on loan. Is that a player you'd like to see Watford bring in?
Well, yeah, I think for sure. It's with Lewis gone, it'd be good to try and fill that void. And with someone that has experience with Fulham, I think he was on Fulham on loan from Fulham, and his parent club's Milan, I believe, AC Milan. Of course, I couldn't see him looking over the likes of Teo Hernandez, who knows probably one of the best left backs on the planet. But with the experience we probably have, seeing what it's like in the Italian leagues and getting experience in England as well, it'd be really great to bring to us, I reckon. I don't know how old he is, but I'm sure with the experience that'd be quite. It'd be interesting to see how they both amalgamate, to see how good he'd be for us in that position, and of course how well he adapts to Tom's style of play. Because I don't. I'll be honest with you. I went to lie. I'm not too familiar with how well he plays because I haven't seen too much of him. I don't think he's like a stalwart starter for many for the clubs he's paid for. But it'd be great to see how he adapts to us. He'll definitely be a starter for us, no doubt.
Georgia just had a big penalty appeal, by the way. Referee said no penalty, so we'll have to go and wait and see if VAR go back to that one. But yeah, in terms of your question about how old Ballo Torre is, I believe he's 27 years old. So in terms of people saying approaching the peak of their career, yeah, that's how old Ballo Torre is 27 years old. And I believe we are linked with the QPR left back as well, whose name I can't actually remember.
I believe it's Pal.
But yeah, that's clearly a position Watford are targeting to spend a bit of money on.
I believe the QPR left back you're thinking of is Pal, I believe his name is.
Yes, I think he's 27 years old actually as well.
Yeah, I'll check for you. I'll be your little statsman.
Thank you.
Oh, okay. More of an AI system. That's not what I wanted. Pal.
Yeah, if you're just tuning in to the stream, firstly, thank you very much for watching. Make sure to hit subscribe. Georgia are winning against Spain by 1-0, courtesy of a Le Normand own goal, which happened about 20 minutes or so ago. So Georgia leading currently, and of course we're back in Watford's very own Giorgi Chakvetadze at the moment, who started this game for Georgia alongside Kvaratskhelia, who plays over in Italy for Napoli. But yeah, so far so good for the Georgian national team.
Absolutely. It's going to be interesting to see how the rest of this game pans out. Obviously, we've seen by the stats that Spain have been a lot more dominant over in possession, a lot more passes, and are really piling on the pressure. But like you said, they've been so resolute in defence, Georgia, and have dealt with the pressure well. It's just all about how well they can maintain that, and obviously with the lead from a great counter-attack as well, an amazing cross, of course, put in for an own goal. But the intent was there for the attack. So it'd be great to see if they can really maintain that pressure and go for the jugular to try and get a second, which would be absolutely incredible scenes against one of the favourites to win the tournament. Or
here's Kvaratskhelia now as I speak, actually drives inside, just loses out. I think that might be a Georgian corner. Does the referee say so? Yes, it's a Georgia corner here. Kvaratskhelia driving forward. They're winning Georgia a corner 33 minutes into the game.
See if Georgia can get his see if Georgia can get his head on this. That'd be brilliant.
That would be brilliant. Yeah, I've already forgotten where we said this game is being held, Cal. Can you remember?
This game.
Yeah.
I've forgotten as well. That's embarrassing.
Dusseldorf, was it?
Oh, Dusseldorf's the England-Switzerland game.
Cologne.
Yeah, the Cologne. That's it. Yeah, Cologne.
Yeah, my memory's bad. I'm sorry. But yeah, that's funny. The story I was telling you, like that's the first competition, the first like big prize I've ever won, and then they said you have to pay for the flights, and then I searched up the flights, and they were ridiculous prices, and I couldn't justify it. So
I was going to say, I bet before you had to find out you had to pay for the flights there, I bet you were buzzing. I can't imagine your reaction.
Yeah, well, the woman rang me. She was like, "Oh, you've won tickets to Euro 2024. We're paying for 2 nights accommodation. You get like a chauffeur from your hotel to the stadium. The hospitality itself is worth like £2,000 apparently. The UEFA club hospitality. So me and my brother would have been like treated to like really nice food and stuff. But yeah, I just couldn't. Oh, great save there by the Georgian goalkeeper from Mark Cucurella. Great shot, edge of the box, dive into keeper's left-hand side. Fantastic save there to keep Georgia in the game. But yeah, I couldn't justify it, Cal. It would have been ridiculous. It's like, for that price, I can go on holiday in Europe for a week. And yeah, that was for like Austria, Turkey. So for me, it was a reluctant no, unfortunately.
I think he made a good call. If I'm being completely honest with you, I think I wouldn't be able to justify the amount that you spent, that you would have spent on just one game. I mean, sure, it would have been a great experience seeing all those fans, in such joy for celebrating the different countries' achievements. But then again, for how long it would have been, I can't really justify the amount of money you would have spent on that. To be honest, I would have done the same thing.
Lennon says, will I do a watch along for the first Watford game of the season? I will be. Well, I say I will be. I should be. If I go to the game, it's a London game, so I might be going to this one. It's away at Millwall, of course. If I go to the game, I won't be. But the high likelihood is I'll stay at home. I'll watch it with you guys. So yeah, I can 90% guarantee that I'll be here on YouTube for the Millwall game. As I am with most away games, of course, last season, you guys tuned in as well. So yeah, don't worry, you can expect more watch alongs for Watford in this coming season on the Watford Way. But yeah, I should be here for the Millwall game, hopefully. And yeah, that'll be the first debut of. I mean, will we wear the home shirt that day? I don't know.
Are we at home? I think we're away at Millwall.
No, but I mean, because like sometimes we wear the home strip away from home. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah. So if there's a kit clash, because I don't think our away kit's been announced yet.
No, not yet.
Yeah, if it's like a shade of
told what color it is, but I'm not going to say.
It's just getting all the inside information. The Watford Way is expanding, it's growing as
I know. Well, I got the exclusive about the kit launch as well. I was happy with that.
I was really, really happy to see one of my good friends who's been a follower of the Hornets Alpha for quite a long time. She's called Freya. She did the kit launch.
Yeah, that was good. That was good. That was unexpected. I think Luke off of Twitter as well. Luke Carey was part of the kit launch as well. So yeah, that was good. And I thought actually, Cal, the whole day itself, the Watford promotional videos, the photos, was really well executed. Actually, I was really, really impressed with the content Watford put out.
Especially with the promotion I had before anything was released as well. It was all really well chronologically timed, and I think it was good promotion by the team.
No, here's Georgia threatening once again. Oh my gosh, going for the overhead kick there, Kvaratskhelia. And Spain win it back. Nico Williams down this left-hand side.
Trying to recreate a Bellingham moment there.
Here's Morata on the ball now. Morata lays it off. Here's Spain, back to Williams. Williams, can he get the shot away? He does so. I think that's saved by the goalkeeper there. Georgia defend again resolutely, and it's relentless here from Spain at the moment. Here's Mark Cucurella. Rodri out to this right-hand side. Here's Rodri again, looking to shoot. He doesn't. He passes it to Williams. Williams inside the box. Shot, and it's a goal. And it's a fantastic goal by Rodri. And it's 1-1 in this game. Cal, you'll see it in just a moment.
VAR check.
Relentless Spanish pressure there. And yeah, it's not looking great for Georgia now.
Onto the path for Nico Williams. Sorry, I'm very, very far behind.
It's all right.
Yeah. I mean, as great as the Georgia goalkeeper's been this tournament, there's no chance he's saving that. That's absolutely arrowed into the bottom right.
Looks like they might be checking for a potential offside here. I don't know because I can't hear the commentary. I can't actually hear the commentary, but they've paused the replay a couple of times here to potentially check for an offside. So we'll have to wait and see what happens on that one. I'm sure Cal can keep us updated.
This is where the
it
real
looks
VAR
like
comes
to
into
me it's
effect.
a legitimate goal. Rodri slotting it away there for España. And yeah, at the moment, as it stands, it is 1-1 in this game. Georgia with the early own goal, and then Spain equalising there through Man City's Rodri.
I just want to I wanted to answer VJ's question there in the chat, asking whether I am from Watford. I'm not directly from Watford. I am around the outskirts. I'm from Buckinghamshire. That's where I originally was. That's where I originally grew up. But as Watford are my local team from where I currently live, and I've been a supporter most of my life. You know, I've just kind of grown into being a Watford fan ever since, and I've never looked back.
Fantastic. That's good to hear, Cal. It's good to hear you didn't pick any other teams from the area near Watford, such as a team that wears orange. So that's good to hear.
Exactly, yeah, definitely. I'm very, very glad. I mean, I think they're a bit further out from Watford, so I'm glad I didn't go anywhere near them. And plus, who wants to actually go anywhere near that town? It's not exactly the nicest town to reside in, that's for sure, or even step foot in. But you know, there's other teams that are closer to me. For example, MK Dons. But of course, all the respect to them. But unfortunately, I'm much happier being a Hornet than being stuck in a stadium that doesn't even sell out 20% of their ground. Just go outside. I'd rather be a Hornet than stick with a team that sells out 20% of all of their ground. In the league,
their ground's really nice actually. Like when you look at the inside of MK Don's ground, it's really like modern and class. But when you look at their attendances, as you say, it's like they barely get anyone there, do they?
Exactly, yeah, and I think that's what they're mainly bantered about. But I think if that was given to a Premier League side or like a really a Championship side pushing for promotion, I think they'd be happy with that because it's quite a spacious ground. But I mean, if they had more people that filled it in constantly, it would have a lot more atmosphere. That's for sure. It could have good atmosphere actually.
I've booked tickets, by the way, to Watford versus Brentford. So the friendly being held at Vicarage Road on Saturday, the 3rd of August. I've booked tickets for that, which should be a good laugh. I might do a vlog from that game, actually, because it's not too serious. It's friendly. There's not so much pressure from the crowd. Because I usually feel quite uncomfortable, like, filming myself at Watford games because I feel like everyone's, like, staring at me. So I feel like doing a vlog at a friendly is a lot easier. So I'll probably do a vlog from the Brentford friendly. Who knows if Ivan Toney will still be at Brentford at that point in time. But there's not really been any rumours around him leaving. So as far as I'm aware, it looks like Ivan Toney is going to stay at the moment.
I believe from rumours that I've read, I don't know if they're necessarily confirmed or reliable sources, but he was in a meeting with Arsenal representatives, but they didn't like his attitude. They thought his attitude was terrible, so they
when was
lost
this?
interest in
this recently? This news?
Well, I found out a few weeks ago. I think it was around that time. But I heard from different sources. That, again, don't know how their source of reliability is, but he had a meeting or held talks with Arsenal representatives to get a transfer over the line. But upon the initial meeting stage and talking stage, they didn't like his attitude during the meeting, so they focused their attentions on someone else. Most notably, Victor Gyökeres from Sporting is what they're looking at the moment.
Yeah, I like him. He was previously at Coventry, I believe, wasn't he? So yeah, he's good. Although it seems like I think from Coventry he was available for about £20 million, and then like Arsenal to then sign him for like 60 or 70 just seems really backwards. They should have just signed him after Coventry rather than signing him from Portugal. But yeah, it is what it is. That's how the transfer market works. But yeah, VJ says he's from Garston, Cal. So not too far at all.
I was going to say, well, one of my mates is actually from Garston. Well, quite on the outskirts of Garston, anyway. It's a nice place, very nice place.
It is.
Yeah, I actually found out as well that Gyökeres, formerly of Brighton as well, which I didn't even know about until he.
That must have been a long time ago. Was that?
That was a long time ago.
Like academy times, maybe, or
around that. But I know that it's like he didn't start much for Brighton at all. That's exactly why I think he went out to Coventry. I don't know if it was on loan or not, or maybe it was just a permanent buy. And Coventry kind of took a gamble. But my God, what a gamble that was! And obviously then took a transfer over to Sporting. that's probably the first time that Conte have been approached by that club with that stature in their life. So they obviously had to demand a high price, and just look at him now, and he's absolutely thriving and still got so much to give. I reckon if Sweden qualified for this Euros, they would have. I reckon he would have fired on all cylinders. He would have been a real danger. The Zlatan regen.
No, I wouldn't call him a Zlatan. I think that's too far, Cal, for him. But yeah, he's good. He's good. Is he Arsenal good? Is he Premier League title challenging good as a striker? I don't think he's quite that level, is he?
Well, I know there's been a lot of clubs of that stature kind of sniffing around at him, especially when he was at Sporting. He had a season of his life at Sporting. I think he was alongside Haaland. He had more goals than games. You know, I'm pretty sure that's how it went. But if I'm wrong on that, someone can correct me in the comments. But I'm sure it wasn't far off. I know Chelsea sniffing out for everybody in a moment, but they were after him.
Chelsea just irritate me as a club. I mean, I used to like Chelsea quite a lot when I was younger, actually. But ever since Todd Bowley's come in, I mean, they are just a complete and utter
disaster.
I mean, the money they've spent, and to not have a competent striker. You can't call Nicholas Jackson a competent striker. I mean, he's okay. But he's hardly, a world-class finisher, Nicholas Jackson. So, Chelsea, need to. I don't know who they're going to get. They were linked with Osimhen at one point, but Osimhen's going to cost, upwards of, 110, 120 million.
Yep.
So, I don't know who Chelsea are going to target. Maybe they'll go after Ivan Toney. I don't know. But there's always, as you say, there's always been that link between Toney and Arsenal. So whether that happens, we'll have to wait and see. But yeah, Chelsea irritate me as a club because they have so much potential, yet they just waste their money on a load of crap, especially when their economy is so good.
Yeah, not only that as well. Like they buy squad depth for squad depth's sake. I mean, I was speaking to my mate who's a Chelsea fan earlier on. I mean, they've just gone and got Kieran Dewsbury Hall off of Leicester.
Yeah,
a very unneeded signing.
He's a good player, but what's the point, Cal? I mean, they have so many players in them wide areas and central areas as well, the attacking midfield areas. What is the point in that deal? I don't know.
Exactly. I was saying to my friend, this. I mean, while it's good to have another player to rack up the squad depth, that could be very detrimental to you because you've still got players there that have been there for seasons and seasons who have really not even got to look into the first team. Who are going to become more and more unhappy the more that you build up your options. And I mean, while it's good, like I said there, to have cover, to have too much cover is a really bad thing because that will create a really low morale across that particular area. Not only that area on the pitch, but across the whole team where they know they aren't getting looks in, so they'll try and stuff force for moves, and it'll end really messily. So while he's a talented player on his day, I feel like he could have done a lot better, obviously with a newly promoted Leicester as well, really kind of get that bounce going to see Leicester stay in the Premier League or fight for survival. But to move to Chelsea, I'm not convinced by that move at all, if I'm being completely honest.
Just a quick game update here. We're nearly at half-time. We're into 2 minutes of added time now. Spain with a corner just before the break, taken by Williams, and the referee has just blown up for half-time. So the score as it stands at the moment is Spain 1, Georgia 1. Rodri with the goal for Spain, and Georgia going ahead early on in the game through a Spain own goal. But as it stands, Spain 1, Georgia 1. I think we can say Spain have been the better team, Cal, and probably should be ahead by more, really.
100%, yeah. I mean, if you have a look at statistics, I know football's not played on paper, but seeing the statistics and how much they've been dominating possession, which I think is what we could have really expected coming into this game, because Georgia, there's such a golf equality. While there's team spirit you can obviously put into play to really hold Georgia together as a unit, we expected Spain with their classic tiki-taka possession style player football to really dominate in that area, which they have done. Of course, it was the biggest shock out of everybody to realise, to see Georgia take the lead. An own goal, albeit being an own goal, the intention was still there and the attack was still on. I think Kvaratskhelia was really, really close to getting a header on. I feel like if the defender wasn't there, that still would have gone in regardless.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah, so it was good to see, such a shock happen earlier on. I think they've really kicked Spain into a higher gear. As you can see, they had a lot more attacking chances after that, a lot more counter-attacking opportunities, and of course they pounced on that. with a very long, well, I say a long range shot. It was just outside the edge of the box from Rodri. With Mamardashvili, there we go, having no chance with that, as amazing as he's been this tournament.
Well done for attempting the pronunciation.
Yeah, I think I did quite well there, actually, if I'm being completely honest. So, I think that'd be one time of many. I don't think I'll probably stutter quite a bit on that name later on in the second half. But speaking of the second half, it's going to be interesting to see how we get along here. And hopefully we can see Georgia, more particularly Giorgi, get another goal.
Yeah, it's not had too many chances to get forward. Watford's guy in midfield, Giorgi Chakvetadze. So he's had a couple of driving runs, then he was dispossessed. I don't think he's had a shot yet. A couple of decent passes, but largely, as we say, Spain really have dominated possession. At one point, over 80% of the ball, which you never really see in football nowadays. Even with Man City, they usually are around 65, 70%. So to see Spain dominating so heavily really shows the disparity in quality between the two sides. But yeah, he's done all right, Giorgi. He's been substituted a couple of times in the tournament so far, so we'll have to see if that happens later on in the game. But yeah, for Georgia, I don't think they could have asked for anything more, really. They went ahead early on. Spain then leveled through, a really good finish via Rodri. And Georgia, are still in the game. So I think their fans, Cal, will be quite happy with that, really.
100%. I mean, it's far from over. It's one goal to the good for both teams, and I feel like Georgia haven't really been tested in this position before, where they've gone into I think this is their first time in a knockout tournament, properly anyway, especially in a major knockout tournament anyway. They'll be happy with how they progress so far. Like you said, their resolute defending was the way to go for them in that first half, and it really kept them at bay and really pouncing and taking advantage of the counter-attacking opportunities that were presented to them, and even at the odd occasion providing real attacking chances themselves really gave them the upper hand there. And then obviously with Spain kicking into a higher gear, I realised they were 1-0 down. I think it was going to be really hard to try and keep a clean sheet in this game. But I like the way that they presented themselves. They'll definitely then use now the crowd, which I've had them on a bit of a low volume, but it felt like it's on a medium volume. How well they've been backing, how the Georgian crowd have been backing the boys in this first half. That will definitely continue at the second half to try to make it a lead. Again, it's going to be really interesting to see.
It will be. I think the Georgian fans actually are up there with Scotland for me as some of the best fans at the tournament so far. The Turkey fans have been class as well. And yeah, as I say, Scotland fans were really, really good. It's a shame they went out, because as much as we are England fans, it's always nice to see other UK nations progress further into tournaments. Obviously, Wales never qualified at all, which was a shame, of course. But yeah, I always like having Scotland and Wales in the tournaments as well. I think it adds to it a little bit. So yeah, to see Scotland go out with such a whimper, wasn't that great, really. Although I'm sure a lot of people got a lot of pleasure in that. They're just showing the goals now. Obviously, the own goal for Georgia going ahead at the start of the game, and then Rodri scoring there for Spain as well. Did you see the game yesterday, Cal? Got suspended due to
the weather.
The weather, the intense lightning and rain. That was I've never seen that before.
I think one of the lightning bolts actually struck the stadium at one point. I think it struck one of the stadium.
There's that really cool picture that's been circulating on social media, hasn't there, with the lightning hitting the stadium, and yeah, that looked pretty intense. I don't know if I'd want to play in that as a player.
I was going to say, I mean, if that was anything, if that was to strike Watford's ground, I'm sure it probably burned down. But again, yeah, it was cool to see. I think I saw a few people who uploaded on YouTube and they were streaming events from inside the stadium and watching the game. To see that on their cameras was quite cool. But I'm glad the game got to go on and provided a good game. I think at the end of the day, I mean, it was Germany versus Denmark. Denmark again, a very solid outfit as they proved, and I just think Germany definitely have the 12th man. I think this tournament, as well as as good as Georgia and Scotland's support have been. You've heard Germany's support. This being obviously it's in their country at their grounds. They're going to get behind the boys every single time, and you can hear the amount of support they get whenever they have a missed chance or a corner or a set piece opportunities coming up for them. It's been a real a real pleasure to see Germany, really get back into the groove when it comes to international tournaments, because over the past few years they haven't been so successful.
No,
Being knocked out in the World Cup so early, obviously having an absolute terrible time against Mexico and South Korea. Really trying to find their groove now.
In the last Euros, if you remember, at Wembley Stadium as well.
Exactly, yeah, that was a 2-0. I don't think I've lost my voice that much in a very long time after watching that game. That was a pure ecstasy just to beat over them as well.
That England team was certainly a lot better than the one we're seeing now in terms of performance levels, anyway.
Exactly. And I think, well, I mean, if you have a look now at Germany's golden revolution, which I'm sure they're in the mix of doing it, of having it right now in this tournament, and it'll definitely continue to grow. They've got likes of Florian Wirtz. I mentioned him this stream. He's been just as good as Musiala, in my opinion. He's been such an integral part as their midfield, and playing as the two attacking midfielders in that side really provides them with a lot of attacking intensity and a lot of variety. A player for me who I think has really been slept on. Yeah, granted he's been on the bench multiple times, and they've played and they preferred Havertz over than him. I'm a massive fan of that Dortmund striker, Füllkrug, I believe his name is.
Yeah,
I feel like he would do really well with a team who provide good service to their main man as a striker, which I think
like West Ham.
Exactly, like a West Ham. Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Like he has the strength,
like a Mikel Antonio replacement.
Exactly, yeah. I mean, whilst pace isn't direct on his side, he has the strength and can really provide. If he gets the good serve, for example, if he has like Kudus and Bowen up the wings, who can really utilize that space and find them in the box, he can score a bucket full of goals. I'd necessarily, I mean, the Prem's going to be a massive test for him, sure, but if it's a player as a sole striker in a team who really utilize the wings, kind of like Dortmund do, I think it's been a good move for him. Then he'll score a lot of goals, I reckon, in a setup like that.
Yeah, as you say, a lot of people have been calling for him to start over Havertz. Now, I think Havertz obviously scored the penalty, which maybe justified his inclusion, but he certainly is, what you would call an impact sub, isn't he?
100%, and he's proven it. I think he came on against who was it, against Croatia? Of course, got that deciding goal.
Yes.
I have a funny. Well, it's not really funny. It was quite devastating, actually. But I have a good story to tell you about that Croatia Germany game. I had a 40 quid bet on. So it's the biggest bet I've ever done.
40 quid, cow.
Yeah, for about
in money, clearly.
For about 300 quid return.
Well, you were telling me about your friend's £50 bet earlier.
Yeah, I'll move on to that actually in just a second.
Okay, yeah, go on. Carry on with your story. I won't interrupt.
No, it's fine. So yeah, 40 quid bet, about 300 quid return on a Germany progressing forward to the tournament, and having I think it was under 2 goals. I was going for a really low scoring game, and under 2 goals. Sorry, under 2 goals, and I was about 2 out of 5 bets in. I think 2 out of 2 came in, and 3 were left out. I think it was about 70 minutes into the game, so I really had to bite the bullet. Took the shot in the heart, and I think I lost about 20 quid. I think I withdrew about 10 quid, but I was like, as long as I withdraw with some money, that'd be fine. It'd be better than winning, better than nothing. So I see Fulk would come on, and of course equalise, which obviously meant Germany go through, and I lost my 40 quid, which was devastating.
Yeah. So you did the early cash out option then?
Yeah, I did, and then I was then swiftly reminded by all my mates to just say, "Let the game ride out. This is football. Yeah. Like no one knows how, unless you're absolutely certain. If it gets to the 85th minute and nothing's changing whatsoever, then feel free to cash out. But especially that early on in the game, with about 25 minutes to half an hour to play, it's football. Anything can happen. It's actually like the England game earlier on. No one expected. How we would perform and how we'd switch it on and turn it around in such spectacular fashion. I mean, an overhead kick for the 95th minute equaliser, and then Kane scoring so early on in the second half. Just from that quick flare of intensity that we have, and then obviously I think we sat back for the majority of that extra time. But yeah, anything can happen in football, and that's the beauty of the sport.
Question from Tom there, Cal. I know we covered it briefly earlier, but do you want to quickly answer it? How do you feel about Kone leaving us in a nutshell?
Yeah, I mean it's good. It's sad, and like I covered earlier on, I didn't think we could really have our hopes up in terms of really wanting to keep him. I don't think he'd want to stay for another season in the Championship, especially with the quality of the clubs that are around him. You know, you've got Frankfurt that was sticking around for him, West Ham, and of course
Roma, I
now
think, are another
Marseille,
name as well.
Roma, and of course Marseille now that have got their man. Um, Especially under a new system now, reuniting with another Watford legend in Ismail Assar. Well, I say Watford legend. I say that very loosely, but a player who was very good for us in Ismail Assar for the time he was with us, and of course a managerial shift now in Roberto De Zerbi. Is he going to be part of his starting plans? It's going to be really good to see how he's utilised. I wish him all the best. I think you said the initial fee was 12.5 million plus add-ons. I would have really preferred that to be a bit higher. I'm looking in a region of 17.5 to 20 mil to make sure we can get the best bang out of our buck. But 12.5 million, it's still it's still a respectable amount of money, and it's just really all down to how we utilise it. So. Of course, I wish Ismail all the best. You know, he's absolutely amazing for the time he was with us. That France versus Canada game, like we briefly touched on earlier, was kind of the game where he really that was kind of his breakthrough game for us. Really, I don't think
as well. I mean,
got man of the match. You know,
Camavinga, Tchouaméni, Mbappe.
they've got man of the match against such an incredible youthful France side who dominate in most European and worldwide competitions. The fact you got man of the match in that just kind of proves for a Canada side who don't get that far in European competitions, just proves its quality. And I hope Marseille utilise him well and play him as a starting option in multiple games in the Liga next season, especially tussling against PSG. It's going to be interesting to see how he does in that race. But yeah, hopefully he goes on to do really good things like he did for us.
Question from Ballum here as we approach the end of half-time in this Spain-Georgia game. Currently still 1-1, of course. He says, he or she, I don't know. He says, a neutral question. Are either of you going to buy Watford shares or save your money for now? Now, I did a whole video about this, and I answered that question in the video. Firstly, I'm not made of money. So whenever I do spend my money, I spend it wisely. I'm not going to invest in Watford. I think the point I made in my video was that Cal might have a different point because he's not a season ticket holder. But the point I made was that I pay over £500 per year for my season ticket anyway. I buy shirts, I buy other match tickets as well. I do the WatfordWay as kind of promotion for the club as well, completely unpaid as a hobby. So for me, I feel like I do enough anyway, where I don't have to, give more money just to feel like I own a tiny, tiny part of the club. So that was the point I made in the video. I know it's been quite successful. I think they've raised about $6 or $7 million to date, which is really, really good for them. But for me personally, no, I will not. I know the minimum you can invest is about £50, so it's not a huge outlay. But for me, it's just not something that I really want to do at this current moment in time. I don't know if you have a different viewpoint on that, Cal, potentially.
Well, it's interesting you brought it up because I am an investor.
Wow. Okay. Yeah, wow. That's interesting. I didn't know that. You never told me that. So yeah, go on.
Yeah, I tried to keep it quiet for a while, but I am an investor. I am spending the minimum you can spend in £50, but like you said, there it is all about how much you spend already on the club. I mean, sure, you could spend money on the shirts that you have and other merchandise, which of course you're adding and contributing to the funds and the success of the club overall. But I want to just add on to your point there and allude to the point that this is a good alternative for people that don't have season tickets. And whilst I'm on the waiting list, I reckon I'll be on there for a good while. So it's all about choosing how you invest your money and want to support the club. And if this is an option where it's really made for the fans, this is a good alternative for that. And I think it's kind of a double-edged sword in terms of, it is good that they're getting the fans involved in wanting to try and help the club the best they can and have that status that they are a shareholder in the club to help try and raise funds for the club. And I think that's it's a good idea and a good initiative. But then on the other hand, I feel like the ownership, while this is a good idea in terms of trying to get fans involved, it should really be more on them to try and raise those funds through their own doing. I mean, the fact that we have really dodgy business models, for example, like with the Pozzos and Moji Buy It. it should really be on them to help, provide some of the funds to really help us push on. So, I like the idea they've gone for of helping fans try and invest, but then again, this ultimately their role to try and help the club succeed financially, working alongside our financial team, which they recruit. And the fact they kind of turn to fans to try and get their money and trying to get them involved isn't exactly the most ideal way. I would have already gone about things. But like I said,
just to clarify, you did the minimum investment. So was it 4 shares for about £50? Is that right?
Yeah, well, it's not. It's definitely not full. It's definitely not full shares. I think I get
four.
Oh, four. Sorry, and
it wasn't like about £12 each. Am I correct in saying that?
Yeah. So I think for the smallest amount you can get at £50, it's around that. Yeah. So it's around that amount of money that you get for a certain amount of shares. But yeah, I'll still be owning less than not even 0.5% of the club. So I'll at least 0.05% of the club, depending on how many people really invest.
I would say probably. I don't know. The valuation was very high.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, I think even the people that have hold on a second. I think we've got Georgia on the counter attack here.
That's right. Nothing come of it, Cal. Nothing out. Don't worry.
Sorry, so I'm 30 seconds behind. You have all the best position to keep updated there. But yeah, I feel like it's whilst I've invested the minimum amount, you've got people that are investing hundreds and hundreds in it, and they're still not even breaking the 0.01% barrier. It's all about really how much in position do you are to invest in the club, but still have a decent amount left over for you to spend on yourself. Because while it's important to while it's good to donate into the club that you love and wants to make sure they do well, and if you have the funds to do that, would be brilliant. You don't want to bankrupt yourself. It makes sure that you have enough money to really spend on yourself, because also it is your money that you've earned. But yeah, overall, like I said, it's a bit of a double-edged sword. And how it's a good initiative by Watford and wants to try to get the fans involved, but the way they've gone about it into wanting the fans to raise money for the club when the ownership aren't really doing much to put the money that we have already from example the sales of Cologne and the sales of Richarlison, Sarr, and all those players we have in the past into some top quality players that we know can really fill the void instead of doing dodgy deals with their parent club with their sister club in Udinese. It's a bit fishy.
To answer Ballam's question as well, Ballam with a follow-up question: would you stay during extra time and penalties? I personally would. I personally will, because it's my channel, of course. But if Cal needs to shoot off, if he's got work or something tomorrow, of course, he can do that. But yes, if the game does indeed go to extra time and penalties, I will be here for the rest of the evening. So be sure to continue to tune in. As per usual, as the second half has started, Spain have dominated the ball so far. And yeah, I expect it to be this way for the rest of the second half as well. If Georgia get another goal, then fair play to them. But I think for me, Cal, this has got, a Spanish win all over it now, surely. Otherwise, it would be one of the biggest upsets, in Euro history, really.
It would be, yeah. I mean, considering I've got these guys as one of my favourites to win the whole tournament, just because of how fluidly they play. The tiki-taka possession of football, that's what they're infamously known for, is enough to break a lot of teams' defensive and midfield lines down. It's crazy to see they're drawing against a team that is so inexperienced like Georgia. But again, I feel like for them, the team spirit and how they have every man for themselves is the real glue that's kind of sticking the whole hopes alive here. And really capitalising upon opportunities as to where Spain are quite sloppy or fall asleep at times and lose the ball to get themselves a counter.
Because Spain have a free kick in a very dangerous position. Nico Williams and Lamine Yamal standing over it, 19 metres from goal. And it's right centrally edge of the box as well. So a great position for a decent free kick take. You could imagine someone like James Ward-Prowse stepping over this and dipping it into the far corner.
This is where my VAR check comes in here now.
Here we go. So Lamau and Williams standing over it. The Georgian defence have assembled their wall. They've got a player lying down on the ground as well to stop any ball sneaking in under there as well. Giorgi Chakvetadze is part of that defensive wall. And here we go. Lamine Yamal steps up, takes it, and it's saved again by Cal's favourite man in goal. Great save. Yeah, good strike there from Lamine Yamal, but saved by the Georgian goalkeeper.
I tell you, he's not going to be staying at the club he's at.
And Spain go ahead. Sorry to interrupt. Spain go ahead through the follow-up. The ball comes back out edge of the box. And yeah, I think it's Fabio Ruiz there who heads it past the Georgian goalkeeper. And as much as we just love to praise him,
just as we were saying that, just as we were praising the Georgian goalkeeper, they're going to concede.
He's let one in there. He might have saved that. I mean, you'll see it on your screen in just a second. I don't know.
It's just great positioning. It was back post, like the Georgian defense didn't really know where he was at the time. It was just great positioning from Fabio Ruiz there. They really got them into that position. It was a great cross as well. Really good lead up play, and the defense just were left in no man's land there.
Yeah, I'm just watching it here. The cross comes in, no threat of offside at all. And yeah, you'd probably expect someone to score from there. I mean, maybe a better goalkeeper, a world-class goalkeeper, you'd say they'd have to save that. But yeah, it's a good goal. I think the cross is what does it for me. And yeah, good goals by Spain to put them 2-1 up in this game. And as Balam says, I think you mentioned this earlier, Cal, the Georgia goalkeeper is leaving Valencia.
I didn't know he was leaving. I thought he was at Valencia. I didn't know he was leaving.
Yeah, well, you must have been right in saying he was at Valencia, but clearly some interest in him as well.
Yeah, I just want to also allude to VJ's comment as well. Quite higher up, it says Havertz has impressed me. Chaka and Xhaka, that's quite cool. Chaka and Xhaka, sorry. Musiala and the Georgian keeper. Yeah, I feel like there's a selection of players there that you've mentioned that I think will be in contention for the Euro team of the season. The Georgian keeper for me is nailed down. I think even if they go out, how impressive he's been in the group stages has probably cemented this place. I've really seen a few team of the tournament so far, just off the basis of what the group stages are giving us, and I've seen him a lot of times, included in them. We've got Musiala for me carry the tournament. I think you also alluded to that as well, James, about him being just such a one of the brightest sparks in the German side, and probably will be for years to come, being so young. He's been absolutely amazing. Xhaka as well, really slept upon, been such an integral part, not only of Bayer Leverkusen's team this season.
Oh, he's so good, isn't he? I mean, the improvement from him leaving Arsenal has been unreal, really. I don't think I've seen anything like it in football for quite some time. That the trajectory he's been on in terms of his career has been amazing to watch.
It has been, and people are now highlighting Arsenal as the main problem because it's clearly evident that Xhaka had the quality, and it's amazing to know the season that he's had with Bayer Leverkusen, obviously with the unbeaten run that they had in the Bundesliga. How well he's doing with Switzerland, of course. Yet to lose a game in the tournament. Actually, did they lose a game in the group stage? I'm not too sure, but of course they have to face us now.
Germany.
They drew a game, and I think they've won their last two against the other teams in the tournament. So again, undefeated in the group stages, and now moving into a quarterfinal against us. We're sensational against Italy. Really dominated that game, and I don't think anyone expected them to be as dominant as it was. It's going to be great to see how they get on, and how integral he's been as part of that midfield to really dictate the play. And let the Swiss attackers do what they've been doing best in this tournament so far.
Yeah, just another question from Balam here. I saw it earlier. Where's it gone? Where has it gone? Here we go. Spain have the experience. Georgia are first timers in a knockout tournament. Are you for or against third place teams progressing? Now, obviously, there is this rule, Cal, where there's 6 groups, right? And then I think four of them 6 third place teams can progress. Are you for that rule, or would you rather see the tournament expanded to maybe 32 teams? I know a lot of people think the third place rule was a little bit controversial. Obviously, Ukraine went out due to that as well. Which was a shame for them. So in terms of that third place, best performing team progressing, are you a fan of that?
But as did Croatia, I think, as well, who were hotly tipped to do really well. They got knocked out because of that rule. It's definitely a switch up, and how UEFA have gone about trying to make the rules a bit different this year has definitely it's added a bit of space for controversy, which I think they were always going to expect, as it's a massive shake-up from the rules they've had in the past, but or just the standard traditional rules of first and second go through. But having the tournament expanded for different teams, of course, gives the gives the competition even more variety. Like you said there, no one expected Georgia to get as far as they have, but to have them included in the tournament after how well they did in the group stages or the qualifying rounds was amazing. So, yeah, to expand that out, gives chances of even more shocks instead of just having the classic teams that you'd expect to win in such a format go through. It'd be good to see that, but I'd like to get your thoughts on the third place rule, because to know that you finish third, but then down to goal difference and how well you do in the group stages dictates how if you get through or not, which was also proven through Croatia and Ukraine. It is controversial.
For me, I don't like it because I think the rule with tournaments generally is if you can reach 4 points, where if you get a win and a draw, usually that should see you through to the knockout stages. But as we've seen this year, that's happened to, I think, Ukraine, Croatia, you mentioned as well, where they've done that, but because of goal difference, goals scored, goals against, that they've just not been able to make it through, which is a shame for them. But ultimately, that's football. It's cutthroat, and yeah, I'm not, I'm not too opposed to it, really. I mean, I'd like to see the tournament potentially expanded even further to allow more countries to participate. But I suppose if you do that, then you're letting weaker countries in, and then does that degrade the quality of the competition? So it's an interesting debate to have. We'll have to wait and see. I don't know how many teams are at the World Cup in America. From memory, I do know it's somewhere in the back of my head, but I can't quite remember. But I know they've expanded that as well. So it's certainly probably a consideration for UEFA for future tournaments, because ultimately the more countries they have, the more profitable it's going to be for them. So I'm sure it'll probably happen at some point, but yeah.
Definitely. I do also have a question just for you in terms of just creating a whole new topic. I know it's very a very controversial talking point at the moment, because off the back of how we played against Slovakia, it's going to be an absolute pipe dream. But say if we do get to the final and it's all looking at Millhouse, depending on who we play on the other side of the draw, are you going to be at a beer garden? What's going to happen? How are you taking anything further from how we progress in this tournament? Are you doing more watch-alongs, or how's it going to go along?
I don't know. I mean, you look at England, Switzerland next.
Then it's the winner of Netherlands versus whoever it would be on that side, and then it gets to the final. So,
well, you look at the bracket we're in terms of the side of the tournament we're in, Cal. I mean, we've got so lucky in regards to that, which is why today, if we did go out, I would have been so gutted, because yes, I know we shouldn't we shouldn't be too big bollocks about England, but we are in the much more favourable side of that draw. We're avoiding Belgium, we're avoiding Spain, we're avoiding Germany, we're avoiding Portugal. So we're avoiding such big teams, and yeah, I think there's a big opportunity there. Now, in regards to, I mean, what was your question? What would I do if we got to the final? What would I be doing?
How are you watching the game? Is it going to be a live stream for all the WATCHALONG viewers to enjoy?
No,
or are you just by yourself?
I'd have to go out.
Yeah, I'm doing the same.
Obviously, I live quite close to London, so I'm sure maybe in Hyde Park or something there'd be a big screen or something to go to. So
for sure, yeah, or watch it, or keep it even more intimate and watch it in a pub or anything like that. That'd be
No, I'm not really a pub type of guy. I just don't. It's too claustrophobic for me. I'm not a fan. I'm not really a fan. I like, being out in the open, in the weather, in the sunshine. Hopefully, if we do make it that far. So yeah.
Hopefully, I mean the weather's. I was going to say the weather's treated us an incredibly nicely over this past few weeks. So hopefully that can continue on to the final if we do make it there, and hopefully it doesn't rain.
Today's been quite chilly. I went outside earlier and it wasn't that great today, I'll be honest.
I'll tell you, was it Friday or was it Thursday? I think I was going to melt. I thought I was close to melting.
It was really humid, actually.
Yeah, I mean, it's once in the blue moon that we get this weather anyway. So of course we've got to take advantage of it while we can. But obviously working a 9-to-5 job, that wasn't the most enjoyable experience of all.
WATFORDWay. Would I go to Kirby Estate in Bermondsey? I've never heard of it. So if you could elaborate, I don't know if Cal knows that area particularly well.
No, I'm just giving it a search now.
Kirby Estate. I know there's a place that puts loads of England flags up where like all the flats are and stuff. That's
That's it. That's it. Yep.
Is that the place?
Yep.
Wow. I've never been there, so I don't know what it's like. I don't know if they have a screen or anything, but yeah, I've seen that on the news before.
Wow, that is. They've got a lot of murals as well for different players.
Yeah.
They got one recently of I think it was. I saw this on a post on Instagram, but Eze has just had a new mural posted on the back of a garage or something like that. It looks quite cool. Yeah, it's just an ultimate place for patriotism to take place over there.
Just give me one moment. I'm just going to open my blinds to let a little bit more light into my bedroom. Just one moment.
How are you all though in the chat? Make sure you get involved in the chat. Let us know how you're feeling about England's upcoming game versus Switzerland. Are we going to do it? Are we going through to the semis, or are we going to have a really tough time and bow out early? I'd love to know your thoughts, guys.
Ballum says, does Cal know Yamal is 16 for Spain?
Yeah, I do. I mean, I know that he just recently just completed his exams as well. Whilst he was at the Euro tournament, I saw a photo of him and he was in his hotel room doing some homework. I mean, just put that into perspective. You're an international star. You've been picked as the youngest player, by far and out the youngest player in every provisional squad in the tournament. To go there, you're a regular starter for Spain and one of the brightest young sparks in the world, and you're still in school and you're still completing your exams. You would have thought the teacher would have given you around a month off just to kind of let you show your worth.
Just shot wide as you just said that. Actually,
that's what I mean. Like, he is an absolute world star. I'm sure the teachers will. I'm sure his teachers or his tutors will let him just have a little bit of time off, just kind of prove himself in one of the biggest European competitions he's ever going to play in. But anyway, but regardless, I think he did pass his exams in the end. So congratulations to Lamine Yamal. And he's gonna be an absolute star in the future. I reckon he's gonna be one of Barca's. He's gonna be a Barca legend if he stays for however long he does. If he has that 1 billion release clause, like I know a lot of the young stars do, he's gonna be a Barca legend for sure.
Ballum says the World Cup 2026, Mexico, USA, Canada. It's 48 countries involved. Is that right? If so, that is crazy.
That is crazy. It was the WATFORDWay wants San Marino. And imagine how crazy that would be.
I've never said that. I'd love to see San Marino qualify for something, though. I mean, they're so... I know everyone finds them funny as a nation because they lose all the time, but it would be great to see them qualify for something.
I mean, well, first of all, they kind of need to get a win under their belt first if they want to even think about qualifying.
They were close 3 times in the past
they were close.
Months, actually.
Yeah, I mean, they scored first, and it was quite late on in the game as well, so they could have gone to win it against Denmark, but I think Denmark just had the quality, and they just turned it on, and then they obviously got the 2 goals for the good. But yeah, I reckon in our lifetime, within the next 2 to 3 years, we'll see a San Marino win. I can manifest it.
Oh, I hope so. I'd love to go out there and watch a San Marino game, actually.
It would break the internet, that's for sure. If they qualify for any big competition, it would break the internet.
It would. It would.
I just want to point out what VJ just said there as well, just in response to asking the stream chat as to how well we do versus Switzerland, and they should beat them if we play half decently. I do agree. I think we do have the attacking quality to really pin down Switzerland and give them a game. But then again, you saw how defensively compact they were and how well they play as a team, as a unit versus Italy. They really did impress me. And of course, Southgate hasn't been the most impressive thing to watch. We've had one of those boring groups I've seen. We'll probably see in our lifetime in this European tournament. So,
oh yeah, it was definitely the most boring group out of all of the groups in the Euros this year. I mean, it was just dreadful.
Oh no, I've just seen I bet this in the chat saying Giorgi's been taken off.
Cal, I'm literally watching the game in front of me. I didn't even see him come off.
Yeah, Giorgi's been taken off. Oh, that's sad.
I never even saw him come off. So unless he's lying, but I'm sure he's not. So. Yeah.
I'll check that quickly just to confirm with you to make sure that we don't have any lies in the chat. I'm sure he's not, but we'll see.
Yeah, I must have missed that. I was too engrossed in our conversation, Cal. I bet this also says Lamau should just leave school. He'll be able to be retired in a year anyway, let alone for the rest of his career. I know the Spanish national team had to get special dispensation from Germany because he's a child and children cannot work past 11 p.m. German time due to their labor laws or something. So they have to ask for some like special dispensation to let him play in these matches, which I found quite funny because he's so young.
I just want to say as well, I bet this isn't lying. He has been taken off. He's been taken off for. I'm not actually. I don't even know why I was going to even attempt to say that. I'm not going to attempt to say any
That's a
more.
shame, though. I mean, that's happened a couple of times now. You know, Giorgi being taken off. You know, around the 60th minute mark.
I just want to point out Ballam's comment there in the World Cup a few years ago now, in saying if Portugal won versus Morocco in France in Qatar, we would have had an Argentina versus Portugal final, the biggest sports ever. This would have been ? It would have definitely been up there. Seeing Messi versus Ronaldo, probably in their last dance in their World Cup. I mean, depending on if they.
I remember actually. So I know a lot of people were hyping up that potential match, and then it never materialized, did it?
Yeah, I think Morocco, they were one of the best sides in the entire tournament. They impressed me so much in that tournament. They were incredible. But it would be an absolute spectacle. You know, just the whole hype and how I wonder how the media would have reacted. How much they would have hyped up that game even a month prior to.
The final was good anyway. I mean, Argentina, France. I mean, Mbappe.
It's one of the best finals. I think
goal on the volley. It was just so good to watch. So that's probably the most engrossed, other than Watford. It's the most engrossed I've ever been in a football game. It was such
best final I've ever watched for sure. Best final I've ever watched in any capacity. In any sporting game whatsoever. That's across every single sport. Best final or best finale I've ever watched ever. Just so high intensity the entire game. And of course, no one expected the comeback the France made. 2 goals in such quick succession, then obviously went to 3-3. Kolo Muani, potentially the miss of his life. And then Martinez.
What you call it a miss? I mean, Emi Martinez. Oh, here's Georgia. Sorry. Here's Georgia. Oh, it's shit. It's shit. It's a shit. They were through. They had a really big chance there, actually, down the left. A lot of space. He should have crossed it, though. And the guy on the left, who's, again, name I can't pronounce. I do apologise. A wild shot that actually hits someone in the face in the crowd, which is quite funny. And yeah, Balin, another question for you, Cal. You're very much requested today. Maybe because you've not been on for a while, but he says, what does our knowledgeable Cal, you're knowledgeable, clearly, Cal, make of Germany? Have you been there? Have you travelled to Germany, Cal? And Germany rule of Sunday is rest day. Is this a good thing, different to being in the UK?
Well, just to answer your question, no, I haven't been to Germany as of yet. It's a country I'd love to go to, of course. I've been to other countries that surround Germany across Europe. I've been to France, I've been to Spain, I've been to Portugal. I've been to other regions that are considered quite successful footballing regions, but I haven't been to Germany just yet. If the opportunity comes, I'd love to go. I mean, if that European competition opportunity was given to me that like James won, it would have been amazing to have gone to
Well, I won it, but I turned it down because it was just too much money. But yeah.
So I haven't been to Germany, but in terms of the rest day thing, again, I never even saw that, even heard of the thing. I know that Spain obviously have siestas, but
it's Sunday, not a rest day in the UK because shops open later, don't they, in the UK? So I suppose we could. Although I think that's for religious reasons, right? But
I mean, I know there's different periodical rest hours that we have in different countries in Europe. I know Spain have siestas. If Germany have this Sunday rest day rule, that could be played to their benefit, especially if they get far in the tournament. It gives players more time to rest and recharge, especially when it comes to there's a squeaky time in the tournament where you have to be on your best form, otherwise you'll get knocked out. It's as simple as that. You need to be on the front foot, and with the players they have, so young, so revitalized, and so full of energy in terms of Wirtz and Musiala, it's something that they could need and ready to come together to recoup as a nation. Of course, having the team, the fans behind them was the 12th man. It could really play to their benefit. And also just want to point out as well something that VJ just said down. The comment came up. I was going to come to that saying I should vote for Sky. I appreciate that, VJ. Thank you very much.
Oh dear. VJ says Spain have weird sleeping patterns. Have you ever done a siesta, Cal?
Well, whilst I was actually in Spain, I think for one of the days we did actually follow the main Spain rules because we tried to pinpoint. I say Spain rules, but I mean it's just like what many
You
people in the
basically had a
population
sleep
do.
in your hotel room, is what you're saying.
Yeah, basically, I tried to find times of when it'd be best to go out to experience the nightlife or like the times within the day as to when's best to go out where I don't have to avoid any traffic. And I realized that the siestas happen periodically during the day, so I decided to join in one day. It was quite relaxing, and to know that everyone in the nation or most people around the nation were getting up at the same time. It was quite weird, but it was good to know.
You know what? I find the UK so like. I mean, where I live, I mean, I'm right near the countryside, so it's not too bad. But whenever I get the train into central London, I mean, it's just utter chaos. And I do feel like in this country, we do need to take a little bit of a chill pill and just calm down sometimes, because I think everyone's in such a rush. And then like I went to Spain myself in May for a week. And everyone, I know it's a tourist destination where I went, but it just felt like everyone was so much more chill, calm. There's no arguments. And yeah, I feel like the UK need to go down that road a little bit.
Definitely, 100%. 100%. How's the game coming along? Of course, I'm 30 seconds behind. I'm on the back.
The game. I mean, Spain, as you say, dominating possession. There's been a few chances since you've been speaking, but there's not been a goal, which is why I've not interrupted you. Lamine Yamal with a few shots just wide of goal. And yes, Spain haven't really made that many changes either. It's just the same recycling possession, wearing that Georgian defence out. And yeah, I do think Spain might get a third or fourth actually before the game ends. But I think what I would say is fair play to Georgia. It's a respectable scoreline. England were very nearly out earlier against Slovakia, who are much worse than Spain in terms of talent they've got. So Georgia doing a great job here defending, clearly working very hard. Their fans can be proud. Just a shame to see that Chakvetadze was taken off around the 60th minute mark, but it's been good. It's been good.
It's been an entertaining game to watch. Of course, mainly Spain dominated, but to see the odd Georgia chance, where of course one of them resulting into a goal as well. There's
still a chance. I mean, there's still 15 minutes or so to go. So
exactly, it's
theoretically,
it's the magic of football, really. I mean, it happened. Like I said, I'm going to allude back to the England-Slovakia game.
Oh, here's Yamal, and it's a goal. Lamau hasn't actually scored. And it's been ruled off though. The linesman's flagged for offside. So what happened here is Yamal made a great run in behind. I mean, it looked like to me he wasn't offside. I'm just watching it on the replay here. Oh, it's just off. Yeah, his literal foot is just off. He crossed it into the box, deflected into the goal by the Georgian defence.
I was going to say, I don't know if that would have been another own goal.
Yeah, rightly ruled off. Just Yamal's foot was just slightly off.
I was going to say, because I saw that on the replay, that's just gone off the Georgian defender. I don't know if that would have classed as a no goal again.
I don't know. Because
if so, he would have had a blinder of a tournament, this own goal geezer. How many goals now? 9 or something.
Yeah, that would have been, yeah. What is Balamarson here? In Germany, with a football ticket, you can get travel for free. Oh yeah, I saw that. So basically, what Balam's saying is, if you're going to the Euros, I don't think on their fast trains you get it for free, which are called ice trains. But I believe on their slower train service, if you've got a Euro 2024 match ticket, you get free public transport, which I do think is great. Oh my God, what a goal by Nico Williams.
God almighty, it's been all Spain these past few minutes.
Yeah, and as I said, Georgia, we predicted this might happen. They've been resolute for quite some time, but
it's an incredible ball as well.
Pitch late now.
It's an incredible ball as well. Straight into the path of Nico Williams, completely unmarked there down his side of the field, ran straight in. No one's catching him with the pace that Nico Williams has.
Great finish as well, Cal, isn't it?
Yeah, and a lovely little dance he did there to celebrate as well. Just added effect.
Just watching it again here in the replay, driving forward. Oh, that's great dribbling and a great finish at the near post as well. Really great work there by Nico Williams.
I was going to say, I was going to see from what Ballum just said as well, will Yamal score today? Give him a penalty. I'd love to see Yamal score. I don't think he's had that many goal contributions. Of course, they just had that offside chance there to make his mark in the tournament. If not, he's already made his mark already just through how many headlines he's created for how young he is. But to really get his foot in the tournament and make a statement by getting a goal, that'd be amazing for him. I'd love to see that happen.
Talking about Spain again, because we seem to have diverted into holiday destinations for some reason, Cal. VK says he likes Mallorca or Lloret de Mar. Ibiza is okay. Tenerife is good too. I've been to Tenerife. I've been to Mallorca as well. I've only been to Tenerife once, but I really enjoyed my time there. Again, flights there are just very expensive. But yeah, I really did enjoy Tenerife. Sunshine all year. So you can go there in the winter as well, which I think is great. And yeah, it's a cheaper alternative to the Caribbean, if you will. So yeah, for people who don't quite have the budget to go to the Caribbean, going to Tenerife is not quite as nice, but you still get the kind of the same vibe there, which is good.
Well, when I was in Spain, I was near the Valencia area, so it was good to see. It was more of a rural side of the of Spain, so it was good to see.
What did you do when you were out there? You just sightseeing, or were you there for anything in particular?
Yeah, the sightseeing. It wasn't really anything to do with an event or anything like that. I just wanted to really go and see the country, and it was nice. It was, like I said, very, very rural, so I got to see loads of the street life and what it was like inside of Spain. Really nice. The villa that I was staying in was lovely. Had an amazing view over most of the area that was around in Spain. Lovely. They also have one of my favorite supermarkets there. If anyone is from around Spain or anything like that, just let me know if you know what it is. It's called Massi Mas. I absolutely love it. It's like if I was to
Massi Mas.
Yeah, Massi Mas. MASYMAS.
I never saw one when I went in May. So
if I was to compare it to an equivalent of what it's like for a UK supermarket, it's kind of like the Spanish Aldi, I'd say. It has everything for quite cheap prices. I've got it's been years since I've been. I assume they probably do, but yeah, I know it's a supermarket where they have quite reduced prices and stuff. They have things that we have over here as well, like a spa, like a petrol shop or anything like that.
They have quite a lot of them. Yeah, Michelangelo, when I went in May, was dotted around quite a lot. That's like, I'd say that's more of like an upper end. They sell quite a lot of alcohol. They have like a fresh sandwich section, almost like a Tesco meal deal section. There's quite a lot like Michelangelo supermarkets as well when I went. But yeah, hoping to go to Amsterdam in September. I've highlighted the September international break as my time to go there. So I'm just trying to find a cheap enough hotel, because it's, as you know, it's a very expensive city, Amsterdam, to go and see my friend over there. So fingers crossed I can head over there in September is the plan.
I'm looking at Santorini in Greece currently at the moment for August. So hopefully that goes well.
Very, very hot in Greece at the moment. I mean, that guy died there the other week. That Michael Mosley, that TV presenter, died in Rhodes in Greece.
Yeah. Hopefully it's not that dark. Hopefully my experience isn't that morbid.
Sorry.
Yeah, no, it's fine. Yeah, I'm sure I'll have a great time over in Greece. But yeah, hopefully my experience isn't anything like that.
Yeah. I went to Rhodes a few years ago actually, and it's definitely the hottest place I've been. I mean, usually I can walk around bare feet and I'm okay, but there it was like, even walking from like the swimming pool to my sun lounge, my feet were getting burnt on the ground. It was so hot.
Yeah, I mean, I know there's. I don't know if it was Tenerife where it was I think it was somewhere in Spain where the most that trending guy at the moment went missing, Jay Slater, I believe his name is.
Yeah.
Don't
start conspiracy theories on his cow.
No, it's fine. I'm not going to start conspiracy theories. I'm just saying. I don't know if that was Tenerife or not. It may have been.
No, yeah, that was Tenerife. Yeah.
Yeah. So it's kind of quite morbid stories on both of us.
Yamal, another chance there to score. He doesn't put it away though. Saved by the goalkeeper. Good chance there for Yamal. Yeah. Great interchanging play there. Runs into the box, linking up with his Spanish cohorts in attack there. And yeah, Yamal just not getting it past the goalkeeper. It's not his day to score, but it's certainly had a very good game. Carvajal coming off here. as well. Carvajal, very, very experienced pro.
Mm-hmm.
He's not leaving Real Madrid, is he? I thought I saw some rumours about Carvajal leaving Real Madrid. I think was it Nacho that's leaving Real Madrid? Am I right in saying that?
He's already left, I think. He's left for like a
yeah.
side.
I get confused between the two for some reason. Yeah, Carvajal and Fabian Ruiz coming off. Obviously, Fabian Ruiz scoring that header earlier in the match. And Jesus Navas and Moreno coming onto the pitch in their place.
See, this is the thing. I think with the substitutions that we've seen, Carvajal, Fabian Ruiz. I don't actually know how old Fabian Ruiz is, but Carvajal, Gerard Moreno.
I feel like Fabian Ruiz has been around for a while. Like I feel like I've heard his name in the footballing circles for quite some time.
I was going to say, like Carvajal, Gerard Moreno, bringing on these players, they aren't exactly spring chicken. Like Jesus Navas is ancient. And, bringing on these players, I don't know if that's really going to be, if they're going to progress and want to bring on super subs.
You tell me you have them as your favourites, Cal.
Exactly, that's the thing. Now I'm really analysing their bench because I never really got time to do this. I was kind of looking at it upon face value in terms of what their actual first team squad was like. But looking at their substitutes, if they really want a player to bring on in terms of fresh legs, using that in quotation marks, fresh legs, they aren't exactly going to bring that much pace or that much intensity to the game, for example, of how old they are. So they just got to hope they find opportunities, where they can play among the wings.
Spain again. Sorry, here's Lamau. Oh, he shoots wide again. Lamine Yamal shoots wide again.
It's not his day. It's not his day.
Moment, Cal. Again, a great counter attack by Spain. I mean, they should have had 6 or 7 goals today here, really, if they were more clinical.
I just want to point out Ballum's comment as well, saying Jesus Navas is currently a free agent. Watford soon, here we go. I mean, I admire your optimism.
Dele Alli is also a free agent, but I don't know if we can afford these players, to be honest with you.
I mean, would you want Dele Alli at Watford?
Well, I would. I mean, sorry, here's chance for Spain. Oh, it's another goal.
Oh,
Dani Olmo with the goal.
Sorry, getting dominated now.
Cal, but Spain are putting them away now quite relentlessly. It's 4-1 to España against Georgia. And unfortunately for the Georgian national team,
it's over.
Their Euro 2024 journey is going to end today. A great little finish there by Dani Olmo. Passes it into the far corner of the net. And yes, Spain 4-1 up now in this match.
It took them a while to get into it. The first half was a bit shoddy, but once they got into their groove, they're now absolutely slating them, and that's.
I mean, they were playing in second gear in the first half, weren't they, Cal?
Exactly. Yeah, I think once they realised, that they have the quality, and Georgia weren't going to back down, they stepped up a gear, and just like that, they've slotted 3 goals past them in reasonably quick succession. Of course, they've had multiple chances. They've really dominated the game before that, but to see, realistically what we all expected in terms of them just really dominating now and really getting the goals when they need them is exactly what we expected. So onto the quarterfinals they go against Germany now, I believe.
I don't know. I don't know.
Hold on a second. Let me check that. I want to.
Hold on.
Because if so, that is a belter of a game there. Spain versus Germany.
Table. Here we go. How do I find this?
Knockout. Here we go. Yes, I am correct in saying so.
In the past few weeks, Cal, I'll be honest, I've just lost track about where everyone is at.
So I just want to confirm that I am correct in saying so. So Spain will now go on to play Germany in the quarterfinals.
Wow, that is a huge game.
That is a belter of a game. Yeah. Hope everyone in the chat's excited for that game as well. Spain versus Germany. If you guys have any early predictions for that game, make sure you let me know in the comments in the live chat. We then have on the other side of that, Portugal versus Slovenia tomorrow. And that's also another very big game. But in terms of how well they've done in this tournament, I don't know if it's going to be the game we all expect in France versus Belgium tomorrow. I'm interested to see how that will go, in which way will it go over to Paris or Brussels, in which way will that will go. And that means it will either turn to either one of those teams in the winners of those games will play each other as the second quarterfinal. Of course, they're one of the quarterfinals already been made up as well in England versus Switzerland. And then on the other side of our group, we have of our side of the draw, we have Austria versus Turkey on the 2nd of July.
Again, sorry, here we go.
Oh, do we have a 5th coming?
No, we don't. They've messed up this chance, Cal. Oh, here's Jesus Navas. No, it goes out for a throw. Sorry, carry on.
No,
Sorry.
I'll carry on. I won't be too long now. I just want to quickly go through the games. We've got Austria versus Turkey on the 2nd of July and Romania versus the Netherlands, which should be a routine Netherlands win. I can only assume.
No disrespect to Romania, but that's got to be a Netherlands win. Sure,
it's got to be a Netherlands win. I can see that being a Netherlands-Austria quarter-final to accompanying them versus Switzerland. And then in terms of
that's a good game, Netherlands-Austria. That would be.
That'd be a good game. Very, very good game. They've played each other, I think. Well, that's Switzerland.
What, in
yeah.
Oh, yeah.
3-3. Yeah, that'd be a repeat of that game. Yes, that'd be another good game to see. A very entertaining last game as well. Austria versus Netherlands, 3-3. I think it ended in the end, or 3-2. I can't remember. Make sure someone correct me in the comments if you do know. But then I think to accompany the Germany-Spain quarterfinal, I think we'll probably have. If it says Portugal versus Slovenia, that should be a routine Portugal win. Again, Slovenia did really put up a fight against us, but again, it's not really hard to do that.
About Portugal, though, it's just like I love Ronaldo. Like I'm a big Ronaldo fan. I just feel like the Portugal attack is limited by trying to accommodate him. Like it's all Ronaldo. Play Ronaldo in. Make sure he gets a chance. And I feel like sometimes their attacks break down where they're just looking for him all the time, and I find that really frustrating to watch.
Definitely, 100%. And like I said, I mean, he's also been like, I mean, when you think of Portugal, think of any really like competition or competitive state, you'll think of someone like Ronaldo as the main man. Someone who's always going to be there and cover times for them when it comes up to them in the in knockout stages, where he's kind of seen as a clutch player in that sense, and really seen as their main target man. But they have a very good squad to accompany him. Very good service alongside the wings. They've got players like Bernardo Silva, who's also been really good. Bruno, who's had a quality tournament so far. They've also got this young winger as well. I think he's called like Cohen Sial from Sporting. Really good.
Conceição, I think is how you.
Conceição, of course, the son of another legend in Conceição's father, a Portuguese legend, and
he's trying to follow. I can't remember what game it was in, but he did score a late winner in the group stages.
He did, yes, 92nd minute winner. I forgot who I was against. I think it was against Albania, if I've got that right.
I don't know. I've entirely lost track. Do not ask me.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, they've got a very solid defensive line. Pepe, who's been absolute quality as well. I mean, I read a stat earlier on that our midfield double pivot in Mainu and Rice earlier on is combined ages is younger than Pepe, which is crazy.
I mean, this has got to be Pepe's last tournament, hasn't it? I mean, we talk about longevity and stuff, but he can't carry on after this, can he? Surely.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking. Like he's in his like late, no, not definitely not late 40s. He's in his early 40s. But then again,
like
the fact he's kept it on.
Are Modric and Ronaldo, like is Ronaldo going to make it to the 2026 World Cup? He probably will, just because it's Ronaldo, but he shouldn't really be there because he's in the Saudi league. I know he's like an iconic player, but come on, man.
He shouldn't be. I get what you mean in terms of his legs will start to give out on him. Obviously, with the age that he's at and playing in a really easy league. But then again, he's got the physique of a 27-year-old. He's got the stamina to keep on.
He's certainly got
play a full 90 minutes.
Yeah, I can tell you that.
Yeah, well, I reckon I can give him a run for his money. I'm joking.
Yeah,
like in terms, in terms of if he can carry on to the 2026 World Cup, I reckon he will, just because I think he wants to play for as long as he can until he physically can't play anymore. The same with Messi playing in the World Cup. I reckon he'll have his last dance. I reckon both of them will have their last dances in this World Cup tournament, and they won't be able to carry on anymore. They just simply won't have the legs. It's going to be interesting to see how he gets along, and will Portugal, like they did in the 2016. 2016 Euros, will they get their final chance at a European trophy? And will Ronaldo get his final chance at that? And of course, moving into the World Cup, it's going to be a lot harder.
Now passes it again, edge of the box, shot saved by the Georgian keeper this time. We're approaching 90 minutes now, by the way, as well. I'm not doing this, Ballon, but thank you for your question.
I was going to say that. I was going to mention that just now.
I'm not doing this. Not tonight. I'm very tired today. Like, come back for the first game this season, Millwall versus Watford, and I might do that because I'd be more excited. But Yeah, I'm not doing that today.
I'm gonna set a reminder for that. Then I'm gonna
If
make
you
sure
pay
the
me
Watford
like
way.
£10, then maybe. But no, sorry.
Oh, you can't bribe super chats to do that.
I don't have super chats yet. I've got to wait. They're coming soon.
Oh, is that for when you hit 1K?
No, I need to hit like a certain amount of watch time and stuff. It's a bit complicated, but we're on our way. We'll be there soon, Cal.
I'm sure you will. I just want to quickly, I'll give your channel a bit of promotion to help you get there. We've got 5 people in there at the moment. If you haven't already, make sure you do hit subscribe to the Watford Way. Absolute legend, of course, deputising for. Well, he didn't have to do this, of course, supporting our Giorgi in the tournament, all 60 minutes that he played of it, but still carrying on and trooping, just being an absolute trooper. To make sure he finishes this game, it's going to be. It shows his dedication to the cause and how well he does our live streaming to carry on for this a long amount of time. So make sure you definitely subscribe to him, especially if you're a Watford fan as well. More content will be coming towards the end of the season. Yeah. That's your expert promo. That's all you're getting from me. That's all the promo you're getting from me this stream.
Spain are on the attack right now, by the way. Are they gonna? Here's Yamal again. Here he is. Can he get his goal?
No,
he dinks it, and it goes out for doesn't go out for anything. Yamal picks it back up in the corner. Back to Dani Olmo. Yamal. He's probably had 6 chances today to get a goal.
I'm gonna search that up. Actually, I want to see how many chances he's had, or how many shots on goal he's had. Hold on a second.
We've got 1 minute left of this game before we shoot off. So if you have any more questions, you've got 1 minute left to get them in the chat. So make sure to quickly get them in. In conclusion, what do I think about this game? It was very exciting for a brief moment, Cal, when Georgia went ahead.
It was.
We got quite excited at that point in time. And then Spain showed that they're not mugs. And
they shifted up a gear.
Yeah, when they want to be, they can be clinical. Oh, nearly another goal there for a Spaniard.
It's kind of showing here. I mean, granted, it is against Georgia, who was seen as the absolute underdogs here, but it's making my claim for Spain winning the whole thing look pretty solid, which is good. So they've done me a favour there, which is nice.
Yes.
I was just quickly. Yeah, I just wanted to quickly check just before the game ends that Lamine Yamal's shot conversion rate. He's had 2 shots on target, 3 shots off target, 2 shots blocked. So he's had 7 shots this entire game so far, but not one of them have resulted in a goal. He's got an assist, which I get fair play to him. That's a goal contribution. Of course,
for me, this kind of cements my point that whilst he's a good player, he is playing against Georgia. And he's had that many chances, and he's still not been, that clinical, really. So, I think he'll develop and flourish into a really good player. The game just ended, by the way, Spain winning 4-1 in the end. That game has concluded. Right, Cal, I think it's time we sign off from the stream. Thank you very much to everyone for tuning in. Make sure to hit that subscribe button as well. I would have been back later on in the tournament if Giorgi Chakvetadze had progressed, but unfortunately they have been knocked out today, which is a shame. But it's always great to see Watford players playing on the international stage. George is out, Ryan Porteous is out, which means all the Watford players can return to London, Cologne, and get ready for pre-season training. Again, let's just look at your final messages. VJ says, James is good. Thank you, VJ.
Yes, he is.
Ballum says, it was good to see the watch along. Good win for España. On to tomorrow's matches. We shall see if any matches go to penalties, because, of course, that's not happened yet. I was a bit worried England might go to penalties today, but ultimately, Cal, as we know, Jude Bellingham with the overhead kick and Harry Kane rescued the win for England. The England match next Saturday. I think it's next Saturday at 5 p.m. The England match. So any plans for that, Cal, or are you going to watch from the comfort of your own home?
Do you know what? I'm actually, after seeing the absolute limbs that we provided today, I'm debating as to whether we do actually go to, or if I go, to a pub garden, because ultimately I saw some of the experiences because my friends did it. They went to a pub garden today, and the atmosphere was amazing. Knowing that we'll go on to the final 4 if we do end up winning that game.
I can guarantee you it wasn't amazing prior to like the 95th minute though.
That's what I mean. This is football heritage. These are the limbs that we can provide. I live these type of moments.
Yeah.
I feel like if we do, if there's all the more chance that can happen again, Of course, it'd be amazing if I was to be in a pub garden to experience that, knowing that also takes us to the final four of the tournament. It'd be amazing to experience that. Just the experience and the environment that a pub garden provides overall is amazing, or just a localized space where people can really just get to experience England play together. Would be amazing. So
Wembley was like a good vibe.
I imagine,
I've not seen clips yet. I will search them up after the stream, because I think there's one in Croydon as well, Box Park Croydon.
Yeah.
They've got a few dotted around London, so I'm sure the scenes in there. I've got to find these videos because I'm sure they're great. It's always good to see Box Park reactions, isn't it, Cal?
It is, especially with the ones around Wembley as well. So the Wembley one's the biggest sports park there is. I'm sure the scenes there were just as amazing. So I'm looking forward to seeing how we do against Switzerland. If we played anything like we did today against Slovakia, we're getting absolutely spanked. But hopefully, hopefully this game's really given us, a bit of a metaphorical kick up the arse in terms of, this is the attack quality we provide, because I know that towards the end we were excellent last 5 minutes, really putting the pressure and piling it on against Slovakia, and it shows what we can do against any team. We can beat anyone on our day if we can really go for the jugular and not sit back half the time, which is just Southgate's forte, which he's been more and more afraid as to wanting to keep on attacking. So I'm excited for the game. I hope you are, James. And I'm looking forward to seeing what Saturday brings. Yeah,
I'm excited for the game. I'm just not, confident for the game is what I'll say. So, in terms of, I'll give a score prediction because, I'm not going to cover the Euros anymore here in the Watford way. This is purely a Giorgi Chakvetadze watch along. But in terms of, an England score prediction, I might be a bit negative here, but I can see Switzerland going through potentially. I just think, as you say, Granit Xhaka is just so, he's so instrumental. They've got a Kanji as well. He's so class. They're a really good outfit, Switzerland. They look much more well-drilled tactically than England do. So I'll be a bit optimistic. I'll go 1-1 Cal, normal time. Then I'll go like today, 2-1 England win extra time. And then you can have the good vibes at the pub.
Sounds good. I'm probably going to go with, this is going to be very exact. So if I get this right, I should put the lottery on, but I'm going to say 20 minutes in, we can see the penalty. Switzerland convert that penalty to get it to 1-0.
Okay.
Around the 70th minute, we see a Kane header, and that goes in for a 1-1. That goes to extra time. So I'm still going with your same outlook, and I reckon we'll dominate the extra time. Don't think that'll be enough though. We won't convert our chances. We'll go to penalties, and we win on penalties. We'll get the first penalty game of this tournament.
Oh God, I hate penalties. It's literally a lottery though, isn't it? I remember, a few England penalty shootouts, and that they're the worst things for me. But we'll see what happens, and we'll end the stream there talking about England. So Cal, thank you very much for joining me. Always a pleasure to have you on as usual. Enjoy the rest of your week and evening. We'll catch you again very, very soon. Bye-bye.